All right, hold on, guys. I had too many texts coming in. So we're now live. We're ready to go. I think we're probably bouncing here. I mean, you can see on the chart here, we came back to a triangle. This is probably a little triangle formation here. So that'd be the first place to maybe find some support. Doesn't mean we're not going to fall back to the next one at 9,000. I had said there's risk clear down to 73, 7,400. I don't think that happens here. I think we stair step down there. So this might be a place where we bounce. Neo 1640, that one could, I think, could bounce here. Litecoin maybe here 116 could bounce. Those are my thoughts here. We're going to throw the technometers on here. I mean, there you see Ethereum, USD at 42. Hold on a second. Bitcoin's going to be about the same thing. Litecoin's more around 40. So, hold on a second here. Let's bring this over here. I got 8 screens in front of me if you're wanting to know what I'm doing. There's Bitcoin USD. We've got 44 on the technometer. You can see where we was at the 49.63 when we was what? We was about 13,400. I said if we had another little surge higher, it would give a sell. We ran to 13,900, I guess it was. 13,900 and change. Now we're back to neutral. Here's Bitcoin USDT that didn't get as overbought, sitting here at 43. Right, 6 months up. Joseph, let me get you a wrench first of all. 6 month up needs to have a correction. It's not going to be in, well, less than 24 hours. So we're not going to go straight down for sure. We did go straight up. So again, I think we're back. It'd be a logical place to bounce, but be careful. There's Neo bouncing, Litecoin again. I think those two could bounce here. Hate to say it, guys, I got to do a couple orders while I'm sitting here. Hold on 1 second. So again, we're 11,000 Bitcoin. I think, we have been upward slanting on Bitcoin because it's been so strong. So I'm guessing, I showed we had a 13,400 or so overbought. Actually, I said any further rally would take it to overbought. So we did give a good warning there. If you go back to here, that was a bullish count, which I don't think is going to happen. Let's go back to the 4 hour. And there's the 4 hour that I had shown. So we need an ABC down, but again, this could get drawn out for a few months. I wouldn't doubt where we just maybe back and fill and trade. So you want to be long the strong coins and stay away from the weak ones. So I wouldn't doubt a bunch of sideways corrections can take all kinds of take all kinds of roads. So I think you probably buy dips, sell rips, and try to trade it now. Bitcoin USD, the technometer is one that did catch that. Again, you'll see here it was at 47.56 at the close. It was registering up there at 50 during the day when we were live. So we're at 44. Again, I would think I'm not really bullish until we come down to 38 or 40. And then I would start putting together some Elliott wave ideas, maybe how we could hold up, etc. Hold on, guys. Sorry. So there is the 1 day 5-minute chart. Everything looks pretty cool there. So stair stepping down like I mentioned. When we was live yesterday morning, we talked about you could have a $2,000 wick lower. I want to show people how the Elliott wave can be a little bit of help. If anybody remembers, let's go to the 3 minutes so we can see it. I was live right down here at the low. So this was the first impulse down. And I was looking for an ABC rally back up to 13,000 or so, 13.1. We did get that in 5 waves, just like it should have been. And at 13,360, which was really right in through here, I said in the Discord that we could turn lower. That was only because this had to be like an A down and a B up, or this had to be a 1 down and a 2 up. It's looking like probably now, just guessing, this is a 1 down, 2 up, 3, 4, 5. It is close to overlapping. So I think probably what could be happening would be really a beginning diagonal. E wave goes down and catches everybody. So that would be, again, I'm throwing guesses out here. That could be the first part of a correction somewhere here. Again, we're playing with fire because the technometer is not oversold, etc. I'm just trying to give everybody a roadmap how this could play into it. So that would mean this is the first A down. So we could do ABCX, ABC. There's lots of things we can do over the next few months. This could be an A. We could work sideways for quite a few days for a B, come down again for an ABC down, and then have an ABC up, etc. So it looks a little bit like we've wiped out definitely some longs. If you go to long shorts, you can see the green line here is longs. So you can see that Bitcoin's back here, let's just say at the 10.5 level, and longs are below that same level. So longs are definitely giving up. That's all the FOMO is getting slapped. Shorts are still pretty high, which kept a lot of people probably bullish, which was the one thing I told you kept me from being extremely bearish. That could be a lot of miners shorting, and it was smart money. I showed you that yesterday. So those guys have deep pockets. They weren't worried about a runaway. They're probably trying to get more short. So now they've been paid. So that's kind of the count here. A lot of things have been annihilated here. as everybody knows. Doesn't take long. There's Neo with, I'm hoping it's going to end up being a spring. So we're shaking everybody out of Neo, and I think this one could bounce back here. Again, if that's an A down, then let's just say you could have a rally up maybe to 1850 for a little relief rally. That's what I think these things are going to be. Right, there's no resistance really on the way up, so hard to call support on the way down. I mean, Elliott Wave says previous triangles are support, so we're showing a little support here maybe. But again, it could be a falling knife, so be careful. The smartest thing is to wait for a buy signal from the software. As everybody probably knows, it really follows me. I mean, there's the software buys on the way up. The last one was 76.70, and then I had the overbought sell reading finally yesterday. And that was on Bitcoin USD. Bitcoin USDT wasn't as overbought, so I didn't have really an all-out sell signal. What's up, TikTok? But definitely was telling everybody to be careful. So, and the other thing, what else do I want to mention here? I mean, probably the next buy signal is going to be the first part of the correction. It'll be, we might do an ABC down here, let's just say to somewhere down closer to 9 grand. Would have a buy signal there. Probably some type of ABC back up, sell signal, and then another ABC back down for another buy signal. Again, that's just guessing. I follow the Wyckoff, so I'm not going to play really Elliott Wave patterns. I throw Elliott Wave on top of my Wyckoff. What's up, Asher? But as I said yesterday, previous fourth wave is back down at the 73, 7400 level. We are upward slanting on Bitcoin, so I would temper that saying maybe we, maybe we come back down to 8200, where I had a little bit of support on a triangle. So maybe not as deep, but in these markets, anything can happen. I'd mentioned yesterday that maybe it wasn't going to be alt season. Be careful with that. Everyone was like, oh, it's going to be simple for alt season. That obviously didn't work either. Crypto King, I just wrenched you. So that didn't work at all. So here's 10,800. This is pretty well the low of the correction. What up, Bryce? We're going to watch this, a little more downside coming in. See if this thing can hold any. I got to do a few trades here, guys, real quick. Sorry. $10,710 still coming down. The tech is neutral. Why would that be? Why would that be it? Why would that be a question mark? I don't understand, Savan. There's the intraday 5-minute Bitcoin USD with 5-minute volume below it. This big upsurge here, even though we'd rallied pretty slow, this upsurge is what got the technometer overbought. Bitcoin USDT. I don't think we're going to new lows below 31.20, no. I think we turned the corner. We got a bull market. We got institutions coming. We got all that coming. So we just got frothy, that's all. And everybody that didn't buy down here on the way up wanted to buy this. So they get you in, and then they get you in, and they get you in comfortable. So that's what happens. Anybody that bought 11, 12, 13, 14, you had a few days where everyone gets comfortable, knows that we're going higher, and that's when you get the shit slapped out of you. So we called this all the way up. I did not want to chase this rally. I gave you a good overbought reading, so all I can say, I don't know if we're going to 2,000 on Bitcoin or going to 100,000. All I can tell you is that I'll give you probably low risk entries and exits. Is all I can say, and probably will play it pretty well. Disco Danny, I think you need to check my chart because I've been spot on. So there's no other chart to check. I hear you, Patrick. Who bought at 13.8? I sold a little bit at 13.860. I know what you're talking about, Disco Danny, but I just won't agree to it. Not going to happen. We probably just made the low for that move right then. NEO 1640. Again, I still like NEO here. I like Litecoin here. If you're day trading or if you're out here trying to scalp, I would scalp alongside from NEO probably. I think that one could bounce back pretty well. Bob, I did see that picture. Yes, I did use it. Did send it to a couple of buddies, so that was spot on. Appreciate it. Dude got wrecked. Everybody knows I spend hours at this. I'm almost 24/7. Kind of screwed up my lifestyle, but my wife and I's lifestyle. Here's Matic. I talked about this possibly doing a spring here, and that's what it was. So now I think you're rallying off that spring. Matic should be one that leads us back higher just because of that. A lot of Wyckoffs are only by springs and uptrends. That's what that is right there. So they would have bought it. Now they put a stop probably right at the lows, right above the lows. Let it run. It's not too bad a lifestyle. Appreciate it, Joseph, Chris, Rocky. So again, I'm still going to say, trying to be cute, that that's the first part of a correction, possibly ending here. If we've got a lot of, I mean, I know these charts. That was the fifth wave I showed ending in Ethereum. This here actually counted out 5 waves as well. So, and I mentioned this support's back at 220. So I think that's where we're headed. But I don't think it's going to be a straight line. There's Bitcoin, what, about 250 off the lows. Here comes, I still like Neo Litecoin here. So again, corrections can take all kinds of formations. So ABCs and X's and ABCs and triangles. So I think you need to be in the mental game of when something falls, try to buy it. When it rises up, nicely sell it. I'm probably not scalping here. I mean, I'm still trying to be longer term here because I am so friendly. I do think we're going to all-time highs. I do think you can screw that up by trading too much. So a lot of my accounts, I don't want that screwed up. I got some accounts want to be more aggressive, so I will trade a little bit more. I mean, at the end of the day, sure, we're setting at 11,000 Bitcoin. That's a pretty good level if you just went to bed the first year and woke up. So the rally to 14,000 was a little bit crazy. Nobody wanted to sell Bitcoin up there because everybody's worried about missing out. We'll change that psychology here over the next few months probably. We'll get all the people coming back in now saying we're going to 1,000, which I'm starting to hear already. So mostly that's from people that missed the whole rally. Now they're hoping for that. But we won't get deep enough to let those people in. I mean, Elliott Wave, the reason I do some Elliott Wave because it is opposite of human psychology. When everyone's fearful, be greedy. When everyone's greedy, be fearful. So I mean, that's the nature of the game and nature of this game, except it happens over the course of a few days, as we've already seen. I mean, some of these coins have had a pretty big dump. I mean, there's BCH, 520. I mean, it's already, back to what I thought was maybe a triangle. Nothing else, 350, 340 is probably some support. That one didn't get going as much here. I mean, it might have support clear back at 240. Sorry, guys. Again, there's the Ethereum, and what we had a 370 back down to 280. So those are pretty big sell-offs already. But we had big runs, so that's to be expected. But again, we had a 6-month rally. It's not going to be taken care of, I don't think, with a 2-day decline. Appreciate it, Patrick. Chris Poe, I mean, I think this is the correction before the run to 20,000. So there's no doubt. And zero, I don't do much with weekly moving averages, all that. I strictly do Wyckoff. Wyckoff wasn't using moving averages. Nothing like that. So trying to look at a few notes here. Sorry, Randy. Yeah, I mean, I'm caught with a little bit of Ripple too. I mean, we talked about moving that out yesterday. We had that rally up to 13,000, 13,100 after I got off YouTube. That was a chance to really scratch a few things. I did scratch some things, and I think you'll get a bounce here, and then you still could probably liquidate it. Link, I'd said I thought had made a fifth wave and will continue sideways to lower. NUFC, MVFC, I mean, I agree. We've had a market change. This market is not collapsing. So if you just want to buy and hold and follow YouTube and stuff to be entertained, that works. I still think you don't want to be, you want to make sure you got some hodl bags. I still think institutions are coming. I've said it forever. My normal stock client is not involved in cryptos. I sent letters out to them back late last year saying you want to be in cryptos. I sent letters on the way up. I sent a letter at 9,000. And we sent a letter out yesterday. Hey, we touched 14,000. Did you catch any of it? Now we've got to sell. Be ready for the next buy. So I think you got to be ready for still a lot higher. Stock people are coming. Institutions are still coming. We just caught everybody short. We caught everybody underinvested. We've talked about that all year. That's all it was. We got way excited up here. You can see that now that was all FOMO. That was all bullshit. So I don't think we'll recover. We're not going straight back to 20 grand. We got to spend some time now. So, and again, risk is probably down to 7,300. Some people say there's risk to 5,000, but I'm probably not in that camp, because I'm so friendly. Again, all I can do is all I'm waiting on is the next buy signal with the software. I'll jump on that and see where that buy signal leads. That's all I can do. That's all I know. All this other moving average, RSIs, candles and clouds and all that shit, I can't do none of that. Do what I know because it's been helpful. And you can see from the screen here that we had 13 or 14 buys on the way up and an overbuy reading right at the highs. If you remember, if you look at the old video, we was around 13.4 when we was at 49.63, and I said any further rally would get the technometer to a 50 on a sell, and we got that up to 13.9 and change. There's 11,150 Bitcoin, so that's about 450 off the low. NEO 1680, 1695. Again, I think that was the spring. Let me check a few notes here, guys. Sorry, I got a lot going on. I got text coming through. Where do I advise to sell NEO? I think the thing's going to bounce quite a bit here, so you would have to just stay in touch with me or be inside our Discord for 40 a month, because I think this one at some point, if we shake off this selling in Bitcoin, that NEO will come alive. And if you look at the NEO chart, I mean, just glancing at it now, I mean, shit, I think probably could ride back to 19, maybe even to 20 if I'm right, but I'd say 1850 to 19 would be a first objective if we can get something going here. ICX definitely not acting well. The weak coins definitely showing their weakness now. That's what happens. Back to the creek. Not impressive. XLM. I said it should have acted a lot better. It didn't. And you could have had a stop in there. Once again, back below its creek. I don't think they'll bury a lot of those anything more, but definitely not doing well. I think ETC will have a pretty good bounce here as well. I think it's probably sprang these lows as well, so I think this one could come back up and try that 850 to 9 level. What's up, BB Junkie? And again, I think Litecoin on the technometers, there's 40.15. That was about 45 minutes ago. And 40.16. And bull markets, 38 is a buy in a trading range. 40 could be a buy in a bull market. So Litecoin, once again, could be one that could bounce here pretty good. Shout out to the 519 people in here. Would take a subscribe and a like. We do Wyckoff here. I own WyckoffSMI.com. Institute started by Mr. Wyckoff in 1931. I took the course in 1982, placed 12th in the nation, first in the nation, 9th in the nation. I did a lot of real money competitions back then. Anything I placed in is in my bio. Regulators made me put all of them in so I couldn't cherry pick. Wyckoff works. I'm going to say it works better than anything. And then as you see, I do throw some Elliott wave on top of my Wyckoff to try to see if it fits into anything. What up, Jennifer? There's a wrench. OG Bobby Johnson. That's funny. That song is in my playlist, so I will give you a wrench, Ronnie Ray. So that's about it. Bitcoin, technometer back to neutral. Correction, I think, has started. It can take a lot of different avenues. The ladies love us Wyckoff. What up, Andrew? I'll rent you for that. I do think there's more risk to the downside. If you're a scalper, you can maybe purchase here. Otherwise, I think you probably wait till I have a buy signal. Appreciate it, Ronnie. Hate to keep pushing all of our things, but I'm going to have to. LearnCrypto.io. If you go there to the Patreon, down here at the bottom, become a Patreon member. Click that. Pay the $40. We give you an invite into Discord. So there's the link to that. If you're really interested in Wyckoff, the cheapest course is the Cryptocurrencies and Wyckoff course. Let me give you a few of these here real quick, guys. Why that's not changing there, but hold on a second. Here's a link to the course. $299, that's extremely good value. If you go to private client group, we do manage clients' assets for 3% of the portfolio value. If anybody's interested in that, hit me up. Cool, Jennifer. Then any book by Wyckoff, Richard D. Wyckoff, I think is a good look. This is wyckoffsmi.com. I've got a library here with a lot of free information, and check that out. And then really the main course is a Wyckoff Unleashed course for $1,000. I paid $1,700 for that in 1982, so I know it's worth $1,000. But check out wyckoffsmi.com. A lot of free information there. Do I expect an alt season? I do, but not now. I think probably that comes after the big wave 2 that we're looking for. I had a count that I'd shown. If you do an Elliott wave, I think we finished a big 4, which means we're going to all-time highs. This was the first start of that. Slight chance that the wave 5 is just on a 1-2 and we're going to go to new highs. I think it'd be a diagonal. I don't think that's happening. If I'd get a buy signal sometime here soon, then maybe I would go for that. So that's not the account I'm going with. This is the account I like myself right now. You can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So I think we completed an A as we spoke here. Mouse around some way. We're going to work down over here in this area in some form or fashion. Get everybody thinking that Bitcoin is going to new lows. And then I think from there we will explode higher with institutions coming in and no Bitcoin to buy, etc. Appreciate it, John. Thanks for the $2.99. The PCG is for U.S. or overseas. Anybody can do the PCG, private client group. How's the Bitcoin? I mean, this is Bitcoin USDT. This loaded here. Again, on bounce volume. This is really a 5-minute on bounce volume, but going back really as long as I wanted to. So you can see here that volume kind of lagged the rally because really volume was just back at 9,000 levels on Bitcoin. So you can see here huge selling coming in. That's what brought the technometer from overbought back to neutral. So we're going to look for some type of divergences at the bottom here, which we're not going to get today. Yeah, Rocket, there is a Q&A section there that's just for questions. I post strictly my buys and sells at charts, stocks, cryptos. So there's a lot of talking going on over there. But if you and you can search just my name and get just what I'm talking about. And you can search just Nick's name. So you really need to log in, check chart, stocks, cryptos for anything I'm saying. Any trades will be there. If you have a question, hit me up direct. You can search my name and see every comment I've made to anybody. Because last night they were talking in the main chat, and I gave the sell at the 10,000. I know people missed that, but we gave that sell yesterday when we was live here at 11.8. I said we could maybe rally up and do a flat here and do a 13.1. So I was out. Nick put that in the chart stock cryptos that to lighten up on some positions if you want. We could be turning lower. And then we ended up a little bit higher, like 15 minutes later, and I came in, screenshotted it, and I said, this is a sell right here, right now. And I put that in the main chat area. So I caught this high exact on the main chat in Discord. So you wouldn't have caught that if you wasn't live at that time. But Nick had updated already down here at 13.1, right around here, that we had done what I said on YouTube, and we could roll over. So I thought that was an A down, this was a B. or I thought it was a 1-2 and we were ready for 3-4-5. So I think we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lows are in. We're going to try to bounce here. And you're correct, Vart. Let me give you, obviously you're in Discord. Let me, and Rocket. Anybody in Discord needs a wrench. Anybody hits me up on there, yes, I'm extremely quick to reply. I do the best I can. But you definitely get a reply. I don't know where Matt's at. I'm not sure what he's doing. You private message me if you have questions. Right, the main chat's not going to improve. There's too much going on over there. Everyone's trying to talk their own ideas. So you've got to just stay where Nick and I are at, and no one else is allowed to speak. When to trade some Litecoin for cheap Bitcoin? I think Litecoin will rally some here, so I think I would wait. How do you get into the Discord? I just kind of gave that. Go to learncrypto.io. Hold on here. Go to the Patreon link. Down at the bottom, become a Patreon member now. You click that. You come over. Now you're in the Patreon. Go to the lower right. $40 tier. You pay there. You can pay with crypto if you want by letting me know. Let me know on Twitter would be cool, at Wyckoff on crypto. And then we give you the Discord link and you'll be into Discord. Then you'll be setting into here. We got a welcome must read area. We got announcement area. Here is chart stocks cryptos where I put in our trades and Nick puts in his. Q&A. We talk about Palm Beach and different things. Then here's all the main channels where everyone's allowed to speak. Member TA, people ask questions, I try to answer. Main chat, I hang out in there some, etc. So I think it's set up pretty well, but we got a lot of people in there. We got a few people that are acting like mods. They're not really, but they are trying to help. So that's a learning process as well. But there you're going to get, I used to give a lot away on Twitter. I don't give as much. I do it after the fact, which then people think I'm making up the trades, but whatever. I use fibs a little bit. I'd be looking to point 618, 0.382 retracements, etc. I would use it that way. Wyckoff is more of, buy 50% pullbacks. Anything above 50% is bullish, which would play into the 0.382. So I know the rally to 14,000 was up against some resistance. So I'm aware of them, but I don't really trade off of them. Don't know who's talking shit about Matt. We haven't talked about Matt in ages. And you're right, I started with Matt because I don't do YouTube. Didn't want to really get into this, but I've enjoyed it to a point. I'm not really a teacher. I'm more of a trader, but I've enjoyed spreading the word of Wyckoff. So that's why I'm here. I have no idea where Matt's at. He shut down everything. So I do not see him. I got you, Brian. I recognize the name. I think on down the road, maybe Bitcoin will provide bigger gains. Bitcoin's where everybody's going to go first. That's why it's been so strong. Matt was a gentleman that started a channel that worked for me building WyckoffSMI.com. Him and I did the channel together until I left and went out on my own. That's probably all I got here. I just really want to come on talking about the overbought reading that we had at the highs. Maybe this is the first wave of selling. Could bounce here. I think if we bounce, everything will probably bounce. I do like NEO here for a bounce. Anything's probably good for a bounce, but I think, again, a bounce is a selling opportunity. When you get that big green dildo up that everybody's talking about, we're headed to 20,000 again, I think I'd take some profits or move out of some stuff. I mean, Litecoin kept me from really buying Bitcoin on the way up because Litecoin acted so bad back there at 135. But I did think it would act better on this break at the last 24 hours. But, and I kind of warned that be careful that alt season was going to start because I wasn't sure that was the case, and it sure hasn't. Nature just a little bit ways away. A big supporter though, Nate, I appreciate you. Hard for me to give levels on bounces. I mean, I'd hope for a rally in Litecoin to give me an overbought reading on a technometer, some type of divergences to give a sell. So my first thought would be, back to 128. I didn't watch it. Let's go in here. Let's go and look at NEO USD. I keep talking about NEO a little bit. You can see NEO's OP is at new lows, while price has had a pretty big correction, but trying to hold in. NEO USDT. Chart's a little bit different, and why it's not as oversold. But again, we sprung this previous area here, so I think NEO is one that could bounce. Let's load the Bitcoin daily technometer back in here before we go. Right, Jose, same old, I guess. Everyone got excited for that. I mean, from my end, nobody was bullish Litecoin all the way up when we was friendly on it. Then up there at 130, everybody got bullish for the halvening, but that obviously didn't work. We're still working off a lot of buys on Litecoin on the way up. Didn't have really much up here with the action. So again, PCG, clients like that were really still long. Somewhere here it'll dig in, and I think still had a hell of a lot higher. I think there's risk. I said this yesterday. There's risk to 7,300 previous support area zone. I think there's risk down to there. Maybe not that low because Bitcoin's been so strong. And Bitcoin will continue to lead it. So that's really all I got. Run a quick disclaimer because I am a registered investment advisor, state of Illinois.
Our thoughts and ideas are for entertainment purposes only. Please consult your personal advisor or do your own research. Past results are not indicative of future returns.
Keep my regulators happy. So, and then once again, for anybody new, I'm going to run a quick outro on who is Richard Wyckoff. Titan and technical analysis, did a lot of bringing volume into the study. Our technometers, OP and all that, that's all volume based. That's how we got all these buys and the overbought reading. So it is helpful. You want to know what volume's doing? Let's go over here real quick. Load our stock software. No, let's don't do that here. We'll do that next time. I'm not logged in here. I'm logged in on my other screens. So we've been long the gold and silver over there, and I think that market's still continues higher, which is going to keep cryptos higher. I think the U.S. dollar is turned down. That's going to keep cryptos moving higher. So I don't think you want to worry. I think we're still headed higher. But if you're trying to trade, pick your points. And don't be FOMOing in at the tops and selling out at the bottoms. Those are mistakes you can't afford to keep making. So stop doing that. And we'll wait for any big movement. Nick's away for the weekend, next 3 days or so, I think, for his birthday. So him and I won't be doing any shows. We got a Patreon-only show coming up. We're going to try to start doing more of those to add more value over there. But any big movement, I'm probably going to be live. I got me another portable computer to try to be on the road more if I need to be, but still be tuned in. So here's the outro, and I'll catch you later. Thanks.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard D. Wyckoff. Anyone who is interested in the stock, option, or commodity markets is most likely to find my life and teachings to be of great interest and value. I was born November 2nd, 1873. At the age of 15, I had my first job as a stock runner on Wall Street, and by age 25, I had opened my first brokerage firm. I was one of the pioneers in the study of the tape and included volume studies in all my market operations. This volume and its intraday studies is what set me apart from the rest of the market gurus. There was a point that my buy and sell following was so big that it became a powerful part of the daily market. It was at this time that I became known as one of the titans of technical analysis. But all along, my lifelong endeavor was to pass on my accumulated wisdom to others. With that in mind, in 1907 I created the Magazine of Wall Street. At its height, the Magazine of Wall Street had over 200,000 subscribers. That's over 200,000 investors who wanted my thoughts on the current market conditions and trends. Finally, in 1931, I decided to take all my knowledge that I had learned about the stock market and create the Richard D. Wyckoff course of stock market science and technique. I was able to create something that established a new standard of practice in the public stock market operations. I did not claim any monopoly of stock market knowledge, but up to that time, no one else seemed willing to be so frank in offering to the public the most intimate knowledge of the inner workings of the stock market. The good news is that even though I created the Wyckoff stock market course back in 1931, the course has been maintained and updated throughout the years and is available to you today. Over 90 years later, my course is still available for investors and traders that want to learn the secrets to the stock market and can be found right now at wyckoffsmi.com.